everyone. Coach Sullivan here again with MJS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you, and the non-subscribers, I hope I tease you into pushing the button. Completed my 38th year coaching football as a defensive coordinator, but over that time, I've either been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, a longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. In this presentation, I'd like to talk to you about now 3-4, what we call mass versus empty. Okay, and we use the word mass because this is the only time we use the word mass, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a 4-man box, so there's going to be specific reasons why we would use mass, and that's going to be the last of the key terms over here. Okay, so what I want to do first is I want to go through the key terms as it relates to our mass, which is an A.F.C, automatic front and coverage, okay, that we predetermine, we as coaches. Okay, and then after that, over here, I'm going to show it to you versus what we categorize as the two different kinds of empty formations. Obviously, there are derivations. They can be tightened up, they can be in bunch, etc. But either it's what we call Toledo with 5 wide receivers, or it's Texas with 4 wide receivers and a tight end. Okay. Again, derivations for both types of formations. And I'm also going to include what happens if it's a 4-by-1, which we would just add the word, insert the word full, Toledo full empty, or Texas full empty means 4-by-1. Non-subscribers, push that button and you have access to the empty playlist introduction. All right, so starting over here, the key terms. First one, number one, is the defensive line. Okay, a 4-man box, so we don't have any front that is a 4-man box. So what our defensive line does is we get into 5-0-5, which is 2-5 techniques and a head-up nose, right? 5-0-5. And then our Mike linebacker stacks the nose. Okay, so there's your 4-man box, the 3D lineman and the Mike. So then how do we line up everybody else, right? Number 2, alignment. Well, it starts with our outside linebackers, the rover and the dime. They overhang to the 3+ receiver side, so 3 to 4 receiver side, okay, as you'll see. So now the assumption is, obviously, the offense just comes out and lines up and empty, okay, and we've already determined that the A.F.C is going to be this mass, all right. So that takes care of the outside linebackers. The other inside linebacker, called the backer, non-subscribers, okay, versus 3-by-2, he apexes on the 2 receiver side. When it's 4-by-1, he's going to apex on the 4 receiver side, and he's got number 4 man. And I'll show you that. Okay? So then all that leaves us is the secondary, and the beautiful thing for the secondary is normal base rules, baby, in terms of lining up. Normal base. Okay, so as you'll see, the field and the free go to the lizard rips. This is in the middle of the field, and therefore the whip and the boundary go opposite the lizard rip. So the 3 receiver side or the 4 receiver side. Okay? So then what do we do, number 3, versus a wide receiver motion? Well, this is base, so we're going to rope. And I'll show that to you. Okay? Going from 3-2, 3-2, or going from 3-by-2 to 4-by-1. I'll show you the rope. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Number 4, if the offense comes out and the running back or running backs plural motion to empty, then we make a Bruin call as always. Anytime a running back motions out of the backfield, that's a Bruin call. It's a structure change. Non-subscribers. So we check exit. That's one of our other A.F.Cs. Again, non-subscribers, push the button. You have access to it. Okay, it's just easier to get into exit. Okay, so if it, and this is also built in, so we do not ever, when a running back motions to empty, get into mass. Okay, so that's a constant. Mass is the A.F.C. Our players know this if they just come right out and line up at empty. Okay, if I've determined that's what it's going to be. it is always check exit when a running back motions to empty. Okay? So then we get to the fifth and final. Why mass? Well, it's really good when you versus a poor quarterback running threat. If the quarterback isn't going to run with the football, get in the mass. Right? Because the only other thing they can do is throw the football, right? Because empty. Quarterback is the structure. He's it. So that's the first reason. Second reason, letter B, excuse me, in a situation where you're okay to let the offense chew up the clock because you're ahead, but you still want to prevent scoring. So in other words, you don't want to just let them score easily. Make them drive the field, chew up clock. Mass is a pretty good option to have versus empty, okay? Because the safeties, everybody, they're playing at their normal depths. And then the third reason would be versus pass. Hey, we're playing our base match quarters, right? Familiarity, baby. This is our happy place. We're in our base match quarters coverage. So those would be the three reasons why we would play mass. So now over here, the only movement is going to be when we wide receiver motion from 3x2 here. So this would be a Liz, right? This would be an empty Liz, as with this. So I'm going to show you wide receiver motion when it goes from Liz to rip, or when it goes from 3x2 Liz to 4x1 Liz. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do with you. As you can see up here, I have all the assignments. So I'm going to start on the left side, go left, middle, right, excuse me. Okay, so here is our outside linebackers in that automatic, right, overhang to the three receiver side. Since this is an even, right, formation, the dime on the left, apex is 2 and 3. If this was 3x2 on the right, so empty rip, the rover would be doing it. Just non-subscribers, you have to push the button, and this would make sense. And so what's meant is he apexes, but he's on the heels of the defensive end. I know it doesn't look like that right now, but he is. Okay? And so apex is he splits the difference. We're ready. And then he's a flat wheel defender because this is a check steal, which is part of our base match quarters three receiver call. Okay? In fact, it's the primary call. The rover, apex is 3 in the offensive tackle. So again, splits the difference, but he's even with the mic. He's at 4 because that gives him the ability to fold in on the run B to A. So he's a B gap if it's play side. If the play's away, he's A gap. That's what that means, B to A. All right? Our secondary check steal, field corner is 2-1 vertical. Free safety, who is lining up 1x12 hike on number 3, is 3-2 vertical. The rover has 3-2 in. Nobody comes in. He sinks in the curl. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 over 3, which is our base. Woo! Right? Why we call mass. So now the Mike linebacker is a 10 technique. Okay, so he's makes the nose right. He's an A-gap defender. In the pass, he mirrors the quarterback. So yes, that means he's a spy. Okay, defensive line. Outside cage. He rushes quarterback arm side. So if it's a right-handed quarterback, he'd rush left A-gap and vice versa. Okay, as he's mirroring, his head's on a swivel. Any shallow crossers, he's looking to junction them, right? Get a hit on him. Don't just let him run right across the field. And then over here, the backer apex is 2 and the tackle at 4, so he's even with the mic. Again, he's a full defender, B to A, so play side to him is B gap. Backside, play away, he's the A gap. And then backer, boundary, and a whip, they're just playing gray 4, baby. So they're all reading number 2. Remember, third reason to play to call mass, we're in our base match quarters. So before I come down on the Texas, right, wide receiver motion, the rope, if they go from 3 by 2 Liz, and this, whether it's 2 or 3, doesn't matter. If he Mac motions across, okay, they're going to make a rope call. So our rule, he would go in. He comes down now. He apexes 2 and 3, and now he's going to apex 3 in the OT, and then he's a 3 to 2 in curl. He becomes flat wheel, right? He ropes over, does the same thing over there, and now he comes back, and these 3 guys play gray 4. Okay? If he Mac motions over to 4 by 1, okay, it's still going to be a rope, right? He now is going to take number 4 man, and he's going to rope down an apex 3 and 4. He's still flat wheel. He now becomes the 3 to 2 in curl. Rover has 4 man, so that the other, he ropes over. They play check steal, and what happens over here, what's meant by 4, I know that gets messy quick. Sorry. What meant by check stay, he's going to walk down and get into inside press, play man under coverage there. He's going to rope back and be high, so we have double coverage, high, low, and the single receiver. That's what check stay means. Okay, again, it's a little bit messy, but that's our base way of playing it. And again, that's a big reason why we would want to be in mass. Now, if it's a running quarterback, we're not going to be in it. Boom, done. So if you got an athletic quarterback who's a running threat, we're not going to be in mass. That's it. That's why that's the top priority. Okay? Because they see a 4-man box, whoop, here he comes. All right? So poor running threat quarterback, here we are. All right? So now down here, you'll notice everything stays the same except the alignment, because it's a tight end. The Rover's a D-stack at 4. He's still a full B to A, still same pass coverage. Everything stays the same. Stays the same, stays the same, stays the same. Everything stays the same. So I'll just get right into the motion. He comes over. He doesn't have to move. He's going to come down now, right? And he'll stay over 2. He'll apex 2 and 3. And then now he will be the 3 to 2 in curl guy, because that becomes number 4. And he takes number 4. Still got the rope. He'll walk down. He shoots back, so check stay. You have high-low double coverage on the single receiver. Woo! Okay? And then, if this were to happen, again, he would come in. He would rope down. This would now be check steal. Okay? So he's going to apex 2 and 3. He apex 3 in the OT. Right? He ropes over. He ropes back. Same as up there. Again, I apologize for all the lines, but that's how it is. And unfortunately, if I did erase everything and take the time, it would just triple the length of the video. So that's why. Any questions, please reach out to me, Coach MJ Sullivan at gmail.com, because I would be happy to go over it with you. Okay, even if we did a Zoom call. It's perfect. So what I'd also like to do is thank YouTube for creating this platform, because it's great opportunity as coaches, no matter where we are in the country, to talk football with each other, or where we are in the world for that matter. Thanks again for watching MJS Coaching Football.